introduce to you some of the finest kids on the planet Earth. I'd like to introduce some of our students from Acton Boxborough High School's Proscenium Circuit. How many of you ever read any of Roald Dahl's books? Well, this is one of his most well-known books called The Witches. And the play we're doing is very true to his book. It's scary and it's funny. We're selling tickets and it will sell out. We have folks coming from all the areas around bringing their kids to see The Witches. So I hope you will make a special effort to come. There are some witches up here. There they are. There they are. Those of you who don't know about the play, it's the story of a young man whose name we don't know. All we know about him is his name is Boy. And Boy is being played today by Stephen Robertson, a senior, and his grandmother, who's only known as grandmother, by Katie Early, also a senior. And the story goes that the boy has the great unfortune to see the National Society of Witches of England, their meeting, and they turn him into a mouse. Yes, we do have mice, and I'm not going to tell you how we do it. It is magic. There's lots of special effects and lots of magic, and you just need to come to see how Stephen and Bruno, where's Bruno? Bruno! And David, Stephen and Bruno are turned into mice. And it's not by their costume. I'll give you a hint. It's not by their costume. Okay, very good. And now I think we'll give you a little taste of the witches.
Each evening I told him stories of summer holidays when I was young. We used to row out in a boat and wave to the shrimp boats on their way home. They would stop and give us a handful of shrimp, each still warm from having just been cooked. We peeled them and gobbled them up. The head was the best part. The head? Oh, it's marvelous. You squeeze them between your teeth and suck out the inside.
That's horrible.
Horrible things can be exciting, Boy. Take witches.
Witches? You mean like with silly black hats and black cloaks riding on broomsticks?
No. They're for fairy tales, very tame. I'm talking of real witches.
Real witches?
Real witches dress in ordinary clothes and look very much like ordinary women. That's what makes them so hard to catch.
But why should we ever want to catch them?
Because, my darling boy, they are evil. They hate children. They take the same pleasure from squelching a child as you get from a plate full of strawberries and thick cream. Squelching? She chooses a victim, softly stalks it, closer and closer, then sparks fly, flames leap, oil boils, rats howl, skin shrivels, and the child disappears.
Disappears?
Squelched? And not always. Sometimes children are transformed into something else, like little Brigitte Svensson, who lived across the road from us. One day she woke up and was growing feathers all over her body. Within a month she turned into a large white chicken. Her parents kept her in the yard for years. She even grew eggs.
What colour eggs?
Brown ones. Biggest eggs I ever seen. Her mother made omelettes out of them. Delicious they were.
Grandmama, are you being truthful to me? Really and truly truthful, not pulling my leg?
My darling boy, you're not going to last long in this world if you don't know how to spot a witch when you see one.
Oh, then show me how, please.
Very well.
Oh, she doesn't look very much like a witch.
Of course not. If witches looked like witches, then we could round them all up and put them in the meat grinder. But look, there's a clue. She's wearing gloves.
My mom used to wear gloves.
Well, not in the summer when it's hot. Not in the house. A witch does.
And why?
Because she doesn't have fingernails. She has thin, curvy claws like a cat. Second clue. She wears a wig. Real witches are always bald. Not a single hair grows on her head.
That's disgusting.
Horrible. Anyways, she gets this nasty rash from the wig. Wig rash it's called, and it doesn't half itch.
What else?
Big nose holes.
Ew, for what?
To sniff out the stink waves of children.
Stink waves? Well, I don't give off stink waves, do I, Grandmama?
Not to me, you don't. To me, you smell like raspberries and cream. But to a witch, you smell. All children smell like fresh dog's droppings.
Dog's droppings? I don't believe it.
So if you see a woman holding her nose as she passes you on the street, that woman could easily be a witch. Now look at her feet.
Nothing special about them.
Wrong. She has no toes.
That's gross.
And last but not least, a witch has blue spit. So now, my darling boy, you know.
I'd like to have our Grand High Witch, Amy Bullock, and her coven of witches come up.
Witches of England. As I am eating my lunch, I am looking out the window at the beach. And what am I seeing? I am seeing a repulsive sight which is putting me off my food. Hundreds of rotten, repulsive children laying in the sand. Why have you not gotten rid of them? Why? You will do better. My orders are that every single child in England shall be rubbed out, squashed, squatted, squatted and gritted before I come here again in 1 year's time. Down with children, do them in, boil their bones and fry their skin, fish them, squish them, bash them, mash them, break them, shake them, slash them, smash them. Down with children, do them in, boil their bones and fry their skin.